All right, we're out of left field with this one, but who is New York baseball's biggest lightning rod? Who elicits the biggest emotional response out of you? Happy or sad, good or bad? Andy, you can begin.
Well, I had to eliminate it to just Mets because covering both teams and interacting with both fan bases, Met fans just have an emotional place that they go to, I think, that's very special. So taking the Yankees out of the equation and going with Mets, I had to go with Edwin Diaz because every outing is scrutinized. There's deep baggage about giving up Jarred Kelenic and that trade that fans often resent, which might only get worse if Kelenic turns out to be a star player. And meanwhile, Diaz just continues to be less than the star closer that fans had hoped he would be, even though he's looked a little better in less essential assignments in recent days. So Diaz is the guy, to me, who's the biggest lightning rod in New York.
I understand Andy's point there, too, about, when you talk about fan bases. And for me, I understand Edwin Diaz. I'm going to go Robinson Cano. I think a lot of people have heard me talk about whether it's the PEDs or other things. But for me, you brought this guy over in a trade, Brody did, and it turns out that, he's making all this money. He had a very poor year last year, if not for a little bit of a hot start and a better second half. The first half was just atrocious. He comes out this year, he's playing well, but he can't get on the field. He can't stay on the field. There are a lot of different reasons. You can add them all up. To me, it just equals a guy who's, frustrating to me, seeing him play second base every day when you could have other guys out there potentially getting those reps and getting those at-bats, whenever he does come back off the IL.
Yeah, I'm going to go away from the Mets and focus in on the Yankees and look at their 27-year-old catcher, and that's Gary Sanchez, who, draws the ire of Yankee fans time and time again. I mean, he is a remarkable bat and a tremendous asset up at the plate for what he can provide at that position offensively. However, the lack of focus at times, the laziness behind home plate, the lack of discipline, at times the lack of commitment, carrying on a little bit of extra weight. He's got remarkable talent. And I think anytime you bring up Gary Sanchez, whether it be TV, radio, you bring up a Yankee fan, there's going to be a reaction one way or the other. And listen, they just want to see greatness. The fans do. And when you look at Sanchez, a guy that's hitting 103 right now with 1 home run and 3 RBIs, he's been dropped in that batting order for Aaron Boone. If I'm looking for a guy that's going to draw an instant reaction, be that lightning rod from a Yankee perspective, it's their catcher.
I think it's a good point on Gary Sanchez, and I've said this on the show before. There will be a show one night where the Jarred Kelenic trade does not come up. Tonight, once again, not that night.